Hello, friends, and welcome to the International Fab Talks. We are happy and glad to connect with you every single day with special celebrities and unsung heroes who have done their very best. We need to acknowledge their hard work, their perseverance, and consistency in bringing a beautiful balance in this universe. Today, we are being joined by a very special celebrity who is joining us all the way from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. A person who's focused on bringing the best adventurous part out of you. You know, we all love adventure, most of us. And sir is one person who has been really focusing his expertise on bringing a beautiful balance in the society. My dear friends, I'd like to invite our special celebrity and guest. Before that, I'd like to thank him very much for taking out the time to be with us here today. He is none other than Mr. Seshadri Venkateshan. He is a wonderful person, an ex-Indian Navy officer. Hello, sir, and welcome. Sir is also focused and a certified mountaineering expert. That's really very nice. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session.
Nice. Good evening, Miss Andrea. Thank you for having me on the show, and good evening to all your viewers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I go ahead and share your profile in an official way with your permission, sir. Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Dear friends, it's always a pleasure, a honor, and a responsibility of ours to share the profile of our celebrity and guest before we go deeper into conversation, getting to know about our celebrity. As I earlier mentioned, he is with us, Mr. Seshadri Venkateshan. He is joining us all the way from Coimbatore. He is an ex-Indian naval officer and a certified mountaineering expert and instructor. He has accomplished more than 75,000 plus hours of outbound training in adventure and flow level programs for corporates, corporate staffs, you could say the corporate levels, members, students, and faculty members, one and all. Whoever's interested can go in for these adventurous sports and adventurous training. Seshadri sir handles outbound operations and training programs at 4 major campuses. For example, it could be Manali, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, or Kukunur, Tamil Nadu, or Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. And sir specializes mostly in this outbound training, that is OBT, corporate stress management as well, design, installation, and operations of adventurous parks or adventure parks. Climbing walls, that's really the latest craze. You know, most of the youngsters have that, and even the middle age also are taking it up, and high rope installation, etc. Seshadri sir is an entrepreneur in the adventure sports domain and runs a startup where he is responsible for handling campsite operations, which involves infrastructure, designing, installation, as I earlier mentioned. And friends, he is a person who is, you know, also known as the founder and managing director of NALS. And if you ask me what is that, that is the National Adventure and Leadership School. And sir focuses on bringing a lot of change in the mindset of the youngsters who are lazy and clumsy to be more on the adventure side, to come out and participate and have things done for themselves, keep things going, running. Sir is also a certified mountaineering engineer, as I said, instructor. That's really a beautiful one. Mechanical engineering, here is it. He's completed his mechanical engineering, marine engineering as well, and he spent 7 wonderful years with the Indian Navy Short Service Commission and has gained a lot of experience during that phase. During the next 9 years, he has been traveling to over 10 countries with regard to ship repair and management, dredging industry from Belgium, headquartered Dredging Company, if I can get all those names right, Jan D. Null, and certified mountaineering instructor from Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, Himachal Pradesh in 2007. Major contributions and achievements of our celebrity and guest, my dear friends, outbound training, treks and expeditions. I love this, expeditions, that's really nice. Over 30,000 people have been trained by our celebrity and guest. That is Mr. Seshadri Venkateshan. Many schools, colleges, corporate organizations have come forward and have taken part in all the activities that sir has to offer and have been the major clients that sir has been focusing on all through these years. Our guest has also been offering adventure internships. This is very beautiful. Offering this is something quite new and unique. Like many of us won't know this, but then yes, Seshadri sir also focuses on adventure internships for the troubled minds and special children. This is really beautiful. The best part is here, giving importance to those people who are disturbed mentally and they would like to get some peace and calm. So they can really get that. And of course, the people with special needs, especially children and adults as well with special needs, should be encouraged for adventure sports. And yes, sir is there with them. And dear friends, sir also focuses on team building and stress management programs as well, adventure infrastructure, etc. He has also designed and built climbing walls, rope courses for educational institutions and adventure parks. He is also the inventor. Seshadri sir is the inventor of the world's first ladder climbing and championship tower and is waiting for the patent to be received very soon. Seshadri sir has also invented electronic timers and ranking systems for climbing walls. That's wonderful, sir. Very impressive. Seshadri sir also conducts motivational and personality development seminars in various institutions in addition to training participants in adventure activities. Now, it's not only the physical part that our guest and celebrity focuses on. He also focuses on the motivational aspect and the personality development of an individual. That's really nice. The mind and body, they say. So here it is that you are a person giving your very best to every bit of a human being. It could be the mind, it could be the soul, it could be your body, everything. And yes, my dear friends, and some of the subjects that sir focuses on during these training activities, the fundamental concepts of leadership and development, adaptability. This is one skill we all have to learn, adaptability and survival skills. Survival skills also is really very necessary in today's world. We never know what's going to happen next. Yes. And sir focuses on this and training all the people who come under him with these beautiful skills, fundamental concepts of leadership, development, adaptability, and survival skills, as I earlier mentioned, conflict and stress management, hormones for excellence, that's beautiful and wonderful, unique, workshop on, now this you have to listen carefully, workshop on how to say no to bad habits. This is the need of the hour for one and all who are into this, who are into cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, etc. If you are into all these bad habits, sir has a very special workshop for all of us, how to say no to bad habits. And he also focuses on fitness and health, a way of life, basics of entrepreneurship, freedom from financial insecurity. This is also one very big major task. We've seen several people taking away their lives because they face some financial insecurities. So here, sir focuses on creating that space for you to understand how to gain freedom from financial insecurities and measure of success, career, quality of life. These are the different sessions that sir focuses for students, the youth, for parents, for middle-aged people like you and me, and for one and all. We have an angel amongst us. Now let's get to know more about our special celebrity and guest. Join us in this beautiful interview. Dear sir, it was very impressive to know that you are doing all of this and you are excelling at it. And that's the beauty of you and your personality. We'd really like to know who is the real Seshadri Venkateshan. Officially, I've shared all of this, but we'd love to hear it from you, sir.
Thank you so much. I would say I must give credit to a lot of people whom I have worked with, who have groomed me, mentored me, and we learn so many things on the way. So I shouldn't take credit for all these things. First of all, yes, my parents, we had a tough childhood, all right, very strict disciplinarian family, and they actually set me on the path with the right amount of character, integrity, and hard work. That's the foundation for all of us. And then you enter the Indian Navy, where a lot of things get added into your psychological as well as physiological systems. And then my experiences overseas, and then the last 16 years that I am heading this organization. Thousands of people deserve credit. One word of suggestion or guidance or even advice can set you thinking in a totally different direction, and then you start learning and then adapting, and then you apply those things, and then you find that yes, customers or people around you are appreciating of it, and then you indulge more in it. So I must first of all thank lots of people, a lot of books, and the modern day YouTube and internet is serving a lot of information available. So I must be humble at this point in time that I'm blessed in this direction. Okay.
You're very humble, sir. That's really nice. You've given credit to all of the people around you as to who have shaped you into this beautiful human being. Thank you so much. Starting off with your parents, to all the people around you, including technology too. You've added that. That's really nice. Dear sir, as you said, that your childhood was one based on discipline. Now, who was the disciplinarian, your mom or your dad, or both?
Actually, my mom starts it and the dad will end it. Yeah, both of them were very loving, affectionate, caring. At the same time, the lines were very clearly drawn. They used to allow us wander 12 hours a day. On holidays, we could go wherever we want as 12-year-olds or maybe 10-year-olds. So we used to wander those streets playing this gully cricket and then marbles. And then at certain time, we have to be back home. Okay. So that's the kind of grooming we've had in childhood, me and my siblings. So you learn a lot when you are left on your own. You have to face those challenges of the streets. Senior kids who will come and bully us, and we also sometimes bully somebody else. And we learn those things very young, that you have to solve problems on your own at some point in time. I think that kind of freedom we had in our childhood.
Yes, you learn many things on your own when you're left all alone. That is a truth.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. And I love the way you said we would play marbles and all of that. So when you would play marbles along with your siblings and the other children around you, like, how was the situation then? Did you all ever quarrel at any given point of time?
Very competitive and very competitive and very quarrelsome. And that also gives way to problem solving, right? A lot of conflicts do come. All right. And friends, we part ways, and then there is always a bridge. Somebody comes and he is the bridge, and then we join together, and then we break apart, and then we join together. So that's something competition brings. All right. So you also learn a very important lesson for life: conflict management. So many differences of opinion, we can't write off people. We need to live with them, and that's a very important lesson we go through in our childhood. Better in our childhood rather than in our adulthood.
Yes, that's really nice. Very true. Dear sir, I mean, all of this, your childhood, was it in Coimbatore itself?
Absolutely. 21 years of my childhood, education, everything was in Coimbatore.
Yes. That's really nice. Now, playing marbles, playing cricket in your, in your area as a kid, how did you develop this passion to enter into the Indian Navy and take up a lot of adventure?
Yeah. When I'm going to say this, many people are not going to be very comfortable, but I am a man whose destiny has driven me in various directions, and I've taken those decisions or grabbed the opportunity at the right time. So I would say that in one fine day on my pre-final year at my engineering, undergraduation studies, there was a board in one part of the building saying that Indian Navy interview was going on, and I was just wandering past it. I never had an idea, and just walked inside, sat down among so many people who were going through this orientation, and post-lunch there was a one-to-one interview, and I got selected for the services selection board, which is a longer period of selections at the Bhopal. So that's how I went through it. And had I not walked past that building on that day, I wouldn't have possibly joined the armed forces. So I must say that at that time, I had no clue. It's just a matter of chance or destiny driving me in that direction. And then the adventure started. Actually, the adventure started.
Yes, that's really nice. Like, now, being a naval officer, and you have to constantly be on the go. Like you have to always be traveling. Am I right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So there are times where you are attached to a shore department where you stay in one place for a year, two maybe, and then you're attached to offshore a ship where the ship sails now and then. So you go offshore and come back to your destination. So this permanent travel, maybe yes, some ships. I was lucky that I was posted in Visakhapatnam where I spent 5 of my 7 years, and traveling was not as much. Generally, armed forces, I think, especially the Navy, you get 2 to 3 years in one station.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. And when we don't know certain things and we ask all the professionals like you, we get to know that, yes, this is it. It's not always traveling. It could be both. And some, like if you were traveling and you were in the waters going like in the ship and you were very focused on your work and all, what kind of situations you faced? Like with the sea animals or with, we have different types of people also traveling by what? Through ship. And like, did you encounter anything dangerous like that? Or any sea animal, maybe, or a beautiful dolphin, maybe in front of you, or a shark or something? Because this, when I think water, these are all the things that come to my mind. So have you ever faced all of this, like, or any of these?
I spent 2.5 years on board a ship, a small minesweeper craft in the years 92 to 94. So it was a beautiful experience. Water all around you when you're sailing. Excellent bonding between the officers and the men. We were one unit, one fighting unit. And I mean, it's 30 years now, but I still miss that bond. In a modern day office space with so many people doing so many things, we do miss that bond between the crew members. It was a granted event that if something happens to anybody, everybody will rush and help out. Food was amazing on board. Naval messes are known for their diverse cuisine. The ship sailing was very rough. Ours was a very small craft, so we used to have very rough experience on the ship. Except for 3, 4 of us, everybody used to be homesick. Okay, myself, my executive officer, Commander Afzal Khan, and I think a few others. We got the other opposite side of this problem. We were hungry all the time, so we used to eat a lot of food, and this I remember a lot. But other than that, there was no other dangerous situation on board the ship. We were very safe. Mostly, we were in the peacekeeping time of the. I mean, the last 3 decades have been very peacekeeping times. So I would say we have not faced any dangerous situations. Very beautiful, memorable moments at night when totally darkness outside. The entire sky is lit up until the horizon. You don't have any light. There's no light pollution on board a ship. So I would say this is a fantastic experience being on board a ship. Very few people get that opportunity.
Yes, sir. What about the sea animals? Any of them did you get to view?
A few dolphins now and then cross our path, but no whales, no sharks, nothing of that sort. Because the propulsion system makes so much noise. Most of the sea animals would like to stay away from ships. It's generally known. But dolphins are generally friendly. Now and then they cross a ship, or they can even swim alongside the ship. They give us a few beautiful sights of their, coming out of the water and leaping back. So that's sometimes, yes, happens.
Yes, that's really nice. So now you're a certified mountaineering instructor and an expert. How did you come into this beautiful phase or this beautiful journey of not only focusing on your personal self as a human being and being fit and fine and focusing on the physical part of life, being very strong to undertake all the hardships of mountain climbing and adventurous sports, etc. And you've also started encouraging others as well. What's the best part about your job, which you do now? I like this very much, where you focus the troubled minds and the special needs children. Now, how did this concept all start about? The entire Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the adventure part actually started in childhood. We used to fly kites as young children, as young as 8 and 9. And we used to run, scamper around the terraces between houses, trying to grab a kite which has been cut by others. And we have a passion to collect kites. So we used to be running across rooftops, across the neighbors' rooftops. And once at least I clearly remember I climbed an entire coconut tree bare-armed, no ropes or anything, because I loved that kite which was stuck up there. Scary initially, and then I came down with a lot of bruises on my chest. I got a lot of consequences out of it. I'll keep it polite and diplomatic now. But the adventure spirit has started already to climb and look at that part of life. And in college, I had a wonderful opportunity. I think we were in third year, myself and my colleague, one Muthaya. We had the opportunity to go to the Himalayas for 10 days as part of the Youth Hostels Association of India. We did a 10-day trek in Manali area, and that actually stuck with me. That the grandeur of Himalayas is beautiful. One has to visit, and it captures your mind and imagination for a long, long time. In my case, it was true. And then later, when I was working for the European company, it came back to me because that job had I think 5-6 months of work and 1 month of break. So I used to come back to India. Wherever I was abroad, we used to fly back to India. My wife and I, we used to go back to either Manali or Ladakh. In a few, I think 4-5 years that we did continuously, the last visit was very, very important to mention. We did a solo. I think just the two of us wandered the Ladakh regions for about 10 days. I think must be around 140 to 200 kilometers of wandering. And then when I went back to Singapore, which was my last overseas job, I was restless for about 2-3 months on the job. I cannot explain. There are so many factors to go about it. But when I look back, the calmness, the attraction of the Himalayas was, I think, one of the topmost reasons. The other factors could be coming back to India, my financial security. I had an Excel spreadsheet. So there are a lot of factors like this, which perhaps drove me in a direction that I should go back to India. And then when I broached that subject with my boss in Belgium, he was a little shocked. But he said, the doors are always open for a person like you. So you go and let me know what you want to do. So I came back on a 3-year sabbatical at the age of 39. I quit my career. All right. I have a spreadsheet to tell me how much money was there and all that. And then my adventure journey started with a basic mountaineering course in Manali. And a year later, I did the advanced mountaineering course and then an instructor course. So that is how I came back to adventure. It's a long story. And then again, later, destiny played a game wherein after this 3 years of sabbatical, I had actually started a financial advisory business. Okay, a lot of people in my NRI circles and my local circles wanted to know what I'm doing. Suddenly quit everything. I said, I'm invested here, and they all wanted to know if they could join. And I said, yeah, nothing is to be given free. Free advice is actually injurious. So I collected all the licenses which are required at that point in time, and I became a mutual fund certified distributor. And then I started helping many NRIs invest in India. 2005 December itself, this business had started, and in 3 years it had grown to quite to some extent. I think quite some extent. I wouldn't know immediately because my wife is running that business now. I remain an advisor. I don't do the ground level work with my customers, day-to-day numbers. So one of the customers popped into my circle and he said he wants to invest in a resort. And my understanding was, as a consultant, I was trying to help him. I figured out that resorts are actually damaging human health in general. Okay, I shouldn't be very particular about something. Some of them might be doing good job, but most of us go to a resort to actually rejuvenate our mind and body. All right, we have had long hours at work, stressful traffic, dust and pollution, no sleep. So we go to rejuvenate ourselves in a resort, but resort actually does harm to us by providing too much food, too much opportunities to drink, late sleep. Our cycle is once again affected here. And many of us are slaves to food. I am. Okay. Whatever you put in front of me, I can eat. And we wake up late, we sleep late, and we have actually wounded our clock. I'm talking about the health clock, again in the wrong direction. Most of us don't have control on our food and sleep cycles when it is presented to us in a very nice way. So I told my friend, I told him, don't invest in a resort. It is an anti-social kind of thing. We shouldn't make money out of it. I was only 42 at the time. So he suggested, why don't you give an idea? A month later, I popped up an idea and I told him somewhere an activity center where people don't drink, people don't smoke, people don't eat junk food. There must be no internet, no television, and there must be activity center. And he challenged me. He said, nobody will come. And I mean, it was just a joke. I wouldn't know it was so serious. And a few months later, we had actually set up a partnership firm. And I must credit all my partners to motivate me in this long journey. To cut it short, NALS was formed across a dining table just as a joke to start a center where people will rejuvenate themselves, both mind and body. And that's what we have been doing now for 16 years. Over to you.
Excellent, sir. That's really nice. So for the past 16 years, you've been really contributing so much of your time and energy to bring a lot of changes in the mindsets of people, because usually they think a lot of entertainment is required, lots of food and drink, or maybe the snacks, the unhealthy snacks and entertainment part. It could be the internet also and all of that. So you say all of these are out of it. It's only the activities part, focusing more on there to have a lot of balance between mind and body. Excellent, sir. I imagine myself to be in that space which you've created. I just imagine myself to be there. That's really nice. And as you said, many of us have this disturbed sleep pattern also. And, with regard to food and our sleep cycle also is being disturbed. Now, sir, how do they connect with you in case if they want to take part in these adventurous sports? There's an internship too, something I've read like that. So what is all this about?
Okay, we offer largely bulk programs for schools, colleges, and corporate. Okay, so over the last 15, 16 years, some 250 customer groups are registered with us. So they keep calling us and booking dates. And that's our major source of revenue. But other than that, we have individuals calling us for internships. And one of the, I would say, most fulfilling area for us is the rejuvenation of mind and body. And young individuals, unfortunately, are prone to overeating, poor sleep, and lack of exercises. I would say these three things are extremely detrimental to some individuals at a very young age. Some people can pull on for 10 to 15 years before the symptoms show. But many young people are now going into the wrong direction. And that is manifesting itself into young childhood diabetes, obesity, mental health issues. And we do see very young people by the age of 10 to 15 using a word called depression. And yes, I know this for true because my younger daughter is a counseling psychologist. She says that many young people are prone to depression these days. And there is a lot of statistics available about suicide at a very young age and all that. We don't even know the word suicide or depression existed for a very long time in our childhood and adulthood. We don't even use it casually. So such people, most of them, except for a few who are DNA driven, depression has also got an element in the DNA. It could be a manifestation of DNA, but most of us are actually problematic, or we have invited the problem thanks to our lifestyle. Most of us. Okay, and the vast majority of us should reverse it in a matter of months, if not a year, if they reverse these three things, only these three things. And the top priority would be food. I'm talking about quality food and on-time food. And I don't want to go into the nuts and bolts of quality food and all that. It's already available. Every specialist knows about it. And the second is quality sleep and at the right time. Again, right time, right? The circadian rhythm and all has been discussed so many times. So much of is available on the website. And the third and the most important thing is the physical activity. All right. So in this priority, I'm now putting once again food number one, sleep number two, and then three would be the physical activity. I'm talking about kids. Adults, we'll add the fourth component, which is the stress. Okay, we unnecessarily stress ourselves. So we are very, very successful in implementing these three things very rigorously, very friendly, very affectionately in the environment that we are blessed with in Manjakombai, Nilgiris. It's very close to Kunur, only 90 kilometers from Coimbatore. So we have a very systematic regimen wherein people wake up on the time, they go for a walk, they have a breakfast, simple vegetarian food. And then a lot of activities throughout the day, which also includes lunch and break and then evening activities. And we switch off the lights at 10 p.m. So they get around 8 hours of sleep. So I will explain to you a group of students from any regular school, 40, 50 students, they come with around 50 kgs of junk food. Will you believe this? On arrival, we check all their bags or we ask them to volunteer to deposit it. And we have 50 kgs of junk food. A liter of cola is already 1 kilogram. And a lot of junk food, including chocolates and all this high-rich food, high sugar, high fat food. So we ask them to deposit it. And then they deposit it. And a lot of them are very unhappy that they have deposited chips. And I love chips. Who doesn't love chips? And then every evening they're all asking for that high salt food or high sugar food. We deny them all and we give them plain boiled peanuts and this kabuli chana thing, popcorn with a good amount of milk and all those things. So on the last day, most of the children don't want to leave our campus. They are attracted. That is how the life changes quickly. They all want their junk food when they go home. That's a different issue. Some of them do want to gift it to us, a few of them. But that addiction is a serious problem. The salt and sugar addiction is a serious problem for all of us. And young children are suffering in a very serious way because most parents, we can afford so much of these goodies. And I am fortunate that we couldn't afford those goodies when we are young. So I'm glad that, we couldn't do that. But I feel very sorry for many of these young kids. So again, coming back to the lifestyle, if any of us could put these three things and in a systematic way, unfortunately, again, the addiction part comes. Households, we cannot do this. So they come to our campus. So I'm talking about the fourth category after schools, colleges, corporate, which all includes the faculty and all that. The fourth category is individuals coming for rejuvenating the mind and body. Some come, a few, before a symptom has arisen. They know that something is going wrong. And most people come only when things have gone wrong. We do get candidates who are depressed as young as 14, gadget addicts as young as 12. And unfortunately, none of them come because a psychologist has referred. They come, fortunately, because a parent or a principal know us and they have referred the child to us. I use the word fortunate because they realize it. And I use the word unfortunate for psychologists because rejuvenating the mind and body is a very important activity of a psychologist, but I have not had a single referral so far. Due to various reasons, maybe we have not presented ourselves. We are in the rejuvenation of the mind and body. So we give this adventure internships, and you will not believe it. Some of these internships last 3 months. It is paid by the parent. And we also offer unpaid internships for very underprivileged people, poor people who have lost their school or they have dropped out of school at the age of 17. Some of them are 12th pass or drop out. Fail also. So we pick up these children from rural villages and we give them free internships. And you will not believe it, some of my top trainers are people who have given free internships. They decided to stick with us. So after the internship is over, we offer them to go and join the modern corporate world, corporate. And some of them say, we don't want to leave and we stay with you. And NALS has got most of these trainers who have got free internships and they stuck with us in the last 4-5 years. I have several of them. So that's how I would say the rejuvenation part one area has worked and how the free internships for the general public. If you know, if any of your viewer knows anybody who is underprivileged, doesn't have a good direction in life, and people say that, this guy is not doing anything, does not have passion, we would recommend they take a free internship, or if somebody could sponsor it, well and good. And we have a fund to give these free internships also. NALS is a so-called profitable company, but we have not taken any dividends so far in the last 15 years, the partners, I mean. The three partners of mine are silent partners, and I am the executive partner. I have enormous support from them to say this. So I would recommend your viewers to, there's only one challenge that we have. Anybody who's already into smoking and alcohol and drugs, very difficult to get them away from it. I'm saying it with experience, very difficult, although not impossible, but I'm yet to come across such people. Only 5-10% come out of it. Most of them succumb to this addiction is my unfortunate perspective. But we are struggling to get such people. We do have such internship, and 10 out of 10 ended in bad experiences. So I'm a little worried about that. People without these habits can come, and then we can groom a wonderful leader for viewers, if they could refer. I was talking about a message to your viewers, if they could refer underprivileged people, 10th pass out or fail, drop out, 12th diploma, underprivileged people, we are willing to give them a home for 3 months, free food accommodation, and top of the art training where any school going kid or a parent would pay 3,000 to 5,000 rupees per night in our campus. A corporate would pay anywhere between 5,000 to 15,000 rupees per night in our campus. And we give them top of the training. Our focus, I will talk a little later if there is time available. And we can make wonderful leaders and good citizens out of these young people who may have lost interest in our direction. We can groom them back to become wonderful citizens of this country.
That's really so nice. It's so pleasant to listen to, sir, and to get to know that you people are encouraging the underprivileged. You want them all to have a beautiful life, and you're giving a chance to them to stay for 3 months and to get trained and to make something out of their lives. That's really wonderful, sir. Very beautiful. A lovely concept. Also, I have a question like, any age criteria, or all are welcome? Like, any age criteria?
8 years and above is an entry barrier that we have set for ourselves. Anything less than 8, I must also justify it, because in our campus we trigger fear. All right. Fear is a very important emotion. If you don't trigger fear, you don't get a primary trait of a leader called courage. Courage is embedded in all our DNA thanks to our ancestral work. It has come to us. But if you want to experience your courage, you need to experience fear. So we have to trigger fear in so many ways. So children below 8 may not be able to understand fear as much. So they may go through, internal challenges. So children above 8 cope up very well. So that's the reason why we keep 8 as an age limit. Yeah.
Gender, sir? Is it only for the male members or female members?
All of them. All of them. Both the genders can participate in this program.
What about the senior citizens? Are they allowed, the middle-aged and senior citizens?
Yeah, our campus has got a terrain element. There are a little bit of slopes. It is an outdoor campus. I must encourage you to look up Manjakombai. It is far away from Kunu, and it is a very hilly terrain, but there are a lot of flat walks. My dad, 77 years, has completed walks and the high rope courses, and his friend also. So I would claim that senior citizens who have good health and fitness perspective, they can definitely participate in our program.
That's really nice, sir. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Now, this question here arises, like, how do you want people to remember you? Because you've done a lot for mankind. So in what way should people remember Mr. Seshadri Venkateshan?
Yeah, this is a very interesting part. We have completed over 32,000 visitors, and we do from 2008, I mean, and we do bump into people in either casual life, malls, airports, or trains. So one of the questions I normally ask people is they recognize me. Either I wear my NALS uniform. Normally I wear in my travel to attract that attention, I must say. So they recognize and they say, "Sir, are you Seshadri?" Yes, I am. And then I ask them, when did you come? Somebody says, I came to your campus in 2011. That's already 10 years behind us. So the question I normally ask, what do you remember about us? He said, sir, one of these guys, I mean, many of them have said this. There are guys who say, sir, we don't waste food anymore because you are very strict with food wastage. We do some 25 different elements in our campus. And the second major thing, an MBA student who is now HR manager in a very large company, he says, sir, I have never tasted alcohol after that session you took for us. How to say no to bad habits. I've never tasted alcohol in my life, and I know how to manage myself in social situations. And that is how I would like to be remembered. People do tell that they had a good time, the camp was good, the food was outstanding, the experience. Those things are all we call it feel good factors. We all enjoy a good food, but we don't remember anything. But after 10 years, if somebody could remember you for those crucial things that we thought it's most important in your life. And earning money is fantastic, but do you stay away from bad habits? We do see everyday people falling down because of bad habits, despite the fact that they have reached the pinnacle of career and success. So that gives us enormous fulfillment. And I must admit, in the last 4 or 5 years post Corona itself, there are a lot of thoughts coming that our journey should change. We are really working against a very hazardous environment, a lot of leopards and tiger in that area, a couple of difficult incidents. But the fulfillment factor is pushing us to continue this journey. We work something like 14 hours a day, sometimes 20 days a month, and sometimes 300 days without a holiday. All right, I mean it. Sometimes, some years has been 300 days without a break because we run multiple campsites and traveling is involved. So sometimes, many a time, I used to say, yeah, it's enough. I should spend more time with family and do my own journeys. But the fulfillment factor, when even one student or one ex-student, I must say, has said that, sir, I learned this from NALS. And that is a motivation factor for many in the teaching profession. And for us, especially, that, what if I can change one human being out of 100 in a particular area? I can't change everybody, obviously. We are all ordinary mortals. But I could make a difference to one human being in 100. I think that's a fantastic proposition that we have taken upon ourselves. So I would say that's how people remember us, and we would like to be remembered as somebody who showed the torchlight. And that's how I think every teacher in a school would also say. Yeah.
Yes, sir. One major question, sir, that is, can people or are people allowed from other states to come in and join in the places where you have set up the campus with regard to these adventurous activities?
You're most welcome. We are purely a commercial organization, so people can come, register themselves, or walk in, depending on where they are located, and they can participate in our programs. So there are some guidelines that we give them so that they come mentally and physically prepared. Ours is a very vibrant biodiversity, so we've had at least 2 or 3 bee attacks, people coming with perfumes and deodorants. Beware, we have had major bee attacks also and minor bee attacks. So we have to prepare ourselves before you come to such an outdoor place. We are welcoming everybody, all from across all the states. Yes.
That's really nice. That's very nice. Thank you for sharing all of that. So one question I have now, you being in this adventurous sport and like mountain climbing and all of this, connected with nature. And as you just mentioned now, the bee attack, have you personally on your journey, have you ever come across any snake or a poisonous snake like that on your way or on your journey? Anytime if you like.
Yeah, our campus is got a lot of snakes, and we used to do tenting in Nilgiris. Then we learned that it is prohibitive because snakes enter these tents. Normal a rat snake, it is a harmless one, but then now and then we come across cobras. And 2002 May 5th, I was handling a cobra a little carelessly. It bit me, and I went to hospital ICU and got myself treated in a peak COVID time. Again, destiny was on my side. An ICU bed was available. The antivenom was available. The chief doctor, who's an expert, was available within 5 minutes from my where the cobra bit me. And then next day I was home, and after 10 days of recuperation, I am back on my feet. So we have had incidents like this, many leopard crossing, black panther crossing, tiger. None of them attacked us, but we do come across them. Ours is a 2,000-acre property. It's a huge valley where only tea estate employees, labor are there. No other human civilization in our area, and we are bounded by a huge forest range. So elephants, leopards, tigers are all very common in our area, and we operate out of that facility. So incidents like this are rare from a public bird, but we do come across them quite often. Yes.
Yes, that's really nice for sharing all of that. Like I could imagine all of that when you're sharing as you passing by, maybe a black panther jumps off and darts off deep into the forest or something like that. That's really nice. So, what is that one thing you love about yourself?
Yeah, I must say that I enjoy fitness. So an element of that started, I think, at the age of 14 when I was in basketball. But that's when it started. So I still continue to run. I have a certain target. So fitness is a way of life. Is my most important aspect that I spend a lot of time on it. Second reason is I would be out of my profession or career without application of mind in fitness and health. So a lot of things come hand in hand here. I would like to be wandering the mountains till the age of 80 maybe. I'm only 57 now. So I should be reasonably fit if I have to maintain that passion for a long time. The Himalayas are calling us. We all should go there.
Oh, sweet. That's really nice. So, as you mentioned about physical fitness, would you even like to share your secret diet as to what you consume and what we could all take care of with regard to our diet, especially those who are in the middle age, now just have finished half century and going to the next half century?
Well, I eat a lot. Okay, I eat a lot. But last several years, I've been very careful. I have only 2 meals a day. It's 8:30 and about 6:30. And sometimes I'm hungry. I can finish my lunch come dinner at 4:30 also. Today it will be around 6:30. So I have 2 meals a day, during which time I can eat a lot of food. There's no what do you call restriction on it. So marriage dinners are off. I don't eat marriage dinners anymore. 5:30 I can finish my home meal and then go attend a wedding reception. I don't eat there. My wife also. So we are very strict with food. The timings, I mean, quality of food. Maybe I would say 95% good. 5% is the addiction or the taste cravings, but we are largely overcome that. So food is something which I love, I must say, and these 2 meals have given us good amount of rejuvenation. I would say weight management and a lot of other things. People call it intermittent fasting, and we stick to it almost 364, 362 days a year. There are 2-3 days where there are some family ceremonies where this pattern changes, but we are largely 95 to 98% on track with that kind of meal plan.
Yes, that's really nice. What kind of a change would you want to see in this beautiful world? If you ever feel like there is a change that is required, which is that area?
I would say our lifestyle is a major challenge for all of us. So I listed those three things, and all of us in the commercial world know that if you give colorful advertisements and tasty things children will buy, and parents, adults are also weak. So one thing I would say is if we can focus more on high fat, high sugar things in food and stay away from them 90% of the time, I think we have won half the battle. The rest is sleep and all that. But I'm very, very worried that we are all challenged by this addiction for salt and sugar. And that is all over the place. Everybody is talking about it now, but very few of us can get ourselves out of that. And I would say I should be a change agent. If I am called to speak in forums, I put this as my priority area. And out of maybe 500 people or 100 people sitting, even if 1 to 5 people can put that for the next 3 months and make it a habit, I would say that would be my focus area, or I would say that's how I want to see this world. We have everything else going right, but the addiction is a major challenge. Food addiction, I would say.
Very true, sir. Very true. And yes, you put that very clear about food addiction with regard to addiction to sugar and addiction to salt. We've always seen people adding a little salt, not only on their plate, they, whosoever beside them, even to them also without their permission, they happily put off some salt, a pinch of salt in their plate as well. Yes. So among all the achievements till date, which is your most favorite achievement, or you say the wow achievement? I've achieved this and this makes me feel great.
Oh, there are so many things. I mean, I wouldn't know which is favorite, but joining the Indian Navy, yes. Working in a multinational environment, getting a job into that was very challenging, but yes, you had a breakthrough. And then clearing my advanced mountaineering course. Okay, that's a very difficult one. At the age of 40, I think I went for that course, 40 or 41. I went for that course. Extremely difficult for my age. I was not so well prepared, carrying 20-25 kgs of backpack at altitudes about 12,000 feet. Was a very excruciating moment, but then when you clear it and come back with that gives you a sense of achievement. But leave all these aside. These are all physical and sometimes, yes, easily achievable. The most difficult to achieve is trust. Okay, my partners trust me, my family trusts me. A whole lot of parents trust NALS. They will send their 15-year-old girl child to us for a month or two. They trust us. To earn trust is the most difficult thing in a modern world with so much of bad news around us. And I would say that is the greatest achievement for us. Somebody trusting you and giving you their loved child for a 1 month, 2 month internship. And by the way, we seize the phones on camp. We ask them to deposit in a more diplomatic way. So there's no contact with parents for 5-6 days. And on the 7th day, we ask them to speak to the parents. So the parents generally get a message in the evening. So they trust us fully. And this element of trust is something I would cherish for the rest of my life. Yeah.
That's really nice. Excellent. So one last question, sir. For the summer vacation, I mean, 365 days, you have it running for all 365 days, or is it only during the summer time or any specific time of the year?
Okay, our northern campsites in Manali and Ladakh are generally seasonal between April and October. We don't do winter programs except when a school wants a skiing program. But my southern campuses are open 365 days. A few months where the weather is bad. November is very bad weather in Nilgiris, excessive rains, a lot of landslides happen. So other than that, our campsite is open. My team lives there. We have a 365-day kitchen there. So anybody who wants to spend time can come there. 365 days is campus open. Technically, it is open.
Yes, sir. Excellent, sir. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing, sir. We had a wonderful time getting to know more about you. We still have a lot to ask you, but I'm sure you'll give us your time once more, as I've already taken an hour from you. I respect your time, and I would love to share the space once more with you on the International Fabtalks to get to know more about your work, the adventurous things that you do, and to get to know more about you as a person. There are still many more questions left unanswered. I haven't yet gone deep there. Yes. Yes, you were
So
sharing.
thank you so much for having me on your program. I really enjoyed the session. I hope this leaves a positive message to your viewers, and we look forward to having you all with us very soon.
Yes, sir. Even I feel like, stopping all of this and just spending some time there and really feeling one with nature and, being adventurous, overcoming fear. And I want to develop courage. Yes, I'd love to be there myself too. And of course, I request all the other parents, teachers, and of course, various school institutions, colleges, you all can come forward, take part, and rejuvenate yourselves and be in the right place at the right time and return back, of course, to your space. Thank you so much, sir. Stay blessed and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. My dear friends, if you like this video, please do share it with the right kind of people. Let it reach far and wide, such them let them know the benefits of all the important things that have been shared here today as to how one could keep themselves healthy, be strong and adventurous. And of course, if you'd love to connect with our celebrity and guest, we'll share his details in the description where you could really get connected with sir very soon. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay blessed. And if you like what we are doing, subscribe, like, and comment to the International Fab Talks. Stay blessed.